Welcome, dear viewers, to this new episode of ExpaTalk. This is Ziad Tariq Rashid from Ottawa, the federal capital of Canada.
And
And
this is Natasha Tynes from Rockville, Maryland. Hi, Ziad. Good
hi,
morning.
how are you doing today?
I'm
It's
good.
too
I'm
early in
good.
the morning. I'm still sleeping.
I know. I'm trying to plan out my day and thinking about what I'm gonna make the kids for dinner. Do you have any ideas?
I'm making T-bone steak.
Yummy. I love my meat.
I love my meat too, but today our guest is strictly vegan.
I know it's gonna be an issue. I'm a carnivore. You're a carnivore.
I'm a carnivore. I love my steaks. I love my meats. I love my mansaf, my makbouz.
I don't know. So, I mean, I'm really excited to talk about our guest today, Layla Al-Dorani, who created the first vegan restaurant in Qatar,
Isn't
and
that
she's an
impressive?
award.
Really impressive to have a vegan restaurant in an Arab country like Qatar, where I lived there and I know the people. They love their meats. They love their lamb and all the grilled meat. And I've seen that. I lived there because it's part of my culture too. I'm Iraqi myself, so we love our meats, Arabs. I know it's going to be really hard for maybe Layla uh, to promote this business in that culture. I would love to
Well,
talk.
let's find. I know. Let's find out because when I read her bio, she's like award winning. She's doing amazingly well. So let's hear what her tricks of converting people to veganism. I'm really excited.
Very,
Maybe
very
we'll learn. Maybe after this chat, we'll both be vegans. Who
yeah.
knows?
Yeah,
I
who
doubt it,
knows?
but let's
And
see. Who knows?
how did you know about Layla? Can you tell me, just give me a brief idea about
Yeah,
the work?
sure. I was reading an article. I can't remember which publication, but she was featured in a number of magazines and
Hmm.
articles about her work, and I was really impressed, especially the issue of a vegan Arab promoting vegan
Yes,
values. So
yes,
that's
exactly.
that's what attracted me to her, and I decided she would be a great guest for our show.
Yeah, and she has a very impressive biography. With all her education, she was educated in the US and she was featured, as you said, in many magazines. And she's been awarded many honorary, awards, which is amazing and awesome. So, without any further ado, let's welcome
Let's
our
bring her
guest.
in.
Okay, let's bring in her. Layla Al-Dorani from Doha, Qatar. Welcome to Expat Talk.
Hi everyone, how are you?
Hi,
My name is
Layla.
Layla. Just to quickly correct you, I'm the first one who created a first plant-based manufacturing factory that's ISO certified. The first person who created a restaurant was another Qatari local, a younger man. His name is Ghanem, and
Uh-huh.
so it's a really growing industry here in Qatar, and I'm really proud to have everybody in our community grow and participate. And there's a lot of different restaurants and different plant-based options that are being added to the menu, as well as hotels participating and changing and having those plant-based options available, and everything from their room service to their brunches upon request now. So it's really readily available here in Qatar, and it's a very growing market. So
That's
I just
fantastic.
wanted to say that so the audience wouldn't
Yeah,
get
that's
confused.
really fantastic. That's really fantastic to know.
Yeah.
And how are people accepting your restaurant? How are they coming to
So the
your
restaurant that
business?
we
How is the
opened was
turnout?
actually this last year during the pandemic, and we opened the first vegan fast food restaurant.
Hmm.
So the fast food restaurant was really to target the younger, actually all generations, but mostly the younger generation who
Yeah.
really love their burgers, pizzas, fries, and shakes. Even my daughter loves that right now, and she's
Mhm.
6, and I know how much how easy of a food comfort food it is.
Mhm.
So we created that this last year. It was the first one that did enter the market, and we're doing our own alternative based meats. So we're
Okay.
doing like vegan kofta, jackfruit shawarma. So also to try to target the, like you said, the Arabic flavors that are really deep in our culture, but still make it plant-based and cruelty-free and sustainable.
Awesome. That's really great. And
Yeah.
where did the idea come to you from? Especially you're an Arab yourself, and you've been, you were born and raised in the Arab world. I know there are certain parts of your life where you spent in the US for your
Yeah.
education, but
I
how
was
did this idea,
actually, yeah,
how
I
did
was
this
actually
idea come to
born
your
in
mind?
yeah, so it really it's been a journey. I think everyone gets to the place where they are today about bringing in more compassion and empathy into their life.
Mhm.
And by doing so, I practice veganism. I wasn't born that way. I was actually born in the States. My
Okay.
mom is from California and my dad is Qatari, and I grew
Okay.
up all over the world. Um, it's been a growing journey towards myself and connecting to my values and what I hold dear and actually practicing it. And then that's where I decided I didn't want to have it to be a part of any system or incorporate anything into my body or into my life that had some kind of violent effect to it,
Hmm.
indirectly or directly. The whole
Yeah.
point is raising consciousness and your consciousness on a daily basis in the actions that you do, which actually has a ripple effect. And
That's
so that's where your why should come from when you do decide to become vegan. It's really something, you know, your why is the one that's always going to remind you why you have to keep bringing that compassion, empathy into your life on a daily basis with every choice that you make, because in the end of the day, it is only you that can make that decision for you. Um, so really, we have to have that why, and then you'll understand why you make the choices you do and the food that you make, and then what you serve and what you buy and all of that. It'll have impact.
yeah. Natasha.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about veganism in the Arab world, the first image that comes from my mind is from the movie My Big Greek Fat Wedding. I'm not sure if you remember that scene. So she's the Greek woman. She has an American
Yeah,
boyfriend. So they have this lavish party, and they're
that's true.
serving him food, and he says, "I'm vegetarian." So all the Greeks who like have very similar culture to the Arab, and he's like vegetarian, and he's like, "I don't eat meat." And they were like, "What do you mean you don't eat meat? You just eat lamb. That's fine." So the idea, and I feel the Arab is as well, the Arab word, the idea is like, "What do you mean you don't eat meat? Fine, you can eat lamb." I mean, the whole concept of not eating meat is so foreign that I want to know about your tactics to convert people. I mean, how do you convince them? What do you do? What is your secret for, you know, like
There,
you're sort of
there,
like
yeah.
a vegan missionary. How do you convert people into, like, I don't know, the veganism?
I, I don't believe in conversion. I don't believe actually converting anybody. It is up to their own choice. They have to reach to that decision themselves. And really, it's the only way you could get there is through education. So if you're willing to, and I believe in a long life for learning. I never stop learning, which is probably why you see so many awards and certifications and those kind of things in the interesting bio, because I really do believe that it takes one oneself to really educate yourself on all kind of subjects, and no longer be writing your life in a very inactive way, going in the car, you know. I really want to take the driver's seat and educate myself and everything. And that comes from, for example, like with opening a factory. I started learning about how do meats get processed and how does food come to our plate and where does it come from, and understanding the supply chains that we live in today and the impact that those harvesting basically that we're doing is damaging our environment, and then the feelings that those animals are having, and then are we really doing things in a compassionate way, which is really part of the Arab culture is compassion, right? It's part of the religion. So it's part of Islam. So it's just really important that we have to think about our impact and what we do, and in those decisions that we have to make, and then you have to educate yourself to get there. And as well with nutrition, about yourself, how to get healthier, and so forth. But it really takes practice, and how do you apply that on a daily basis with every choice that you make. And we're never perfect, and so I don't convert. I lead my own life. And if people have questions, they ask. And if they continue to live their life, they do. And if they're interested and curious, they'll try to incorporate that as part of their life, and come to me and talk to me like you both have, and and really want to learn about how can I incorporate this so I can live a healthier and longer life. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And basically, let's talk about your business itself. You said you have the first plant-based food factory and
Yeah.
also a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
So two businesses. Let's talk about the restaurants. Who are your customers? Where are they
Uh,
from, basically? I know Qatar is a very dynamic society and culture.
yeah.
People from different backgrounds live in Qatar. It's very, very cosmopolitan. You
Hmm.
see people from all parts of the world living in one place, like in the US and Canada here. So,
Hmm.
who are your customers?
Yeah. Uh, um, Qatar is such a melting pot of different nationalities and cultures and backgrounds. And we really do have a wide variety of customer data, or at least that's what our database tells us. Not only do we have locals, but we also have, a lot of Indians and Africans and Europeans. Um, as well as different Arabs that do come and try and explore. Uh, so it's a wide variety, and it's very transitional. Qatar has a lot of people that come in and out all the time. So
Yes.
Hmm.
so we do have a lot of new customers that get to try our food. And one of the best comments I think that I got this last year since opening was that, I haven't been able to try shawarma since I've gone vegan for over 30 years, and I've now have shawarma back in my life again. And then so those kind of stories really create an impact, and you just feel okay, business closed, I'm done, I'm happy, I've succeeded. That was the best thing I could have done, is really just try to reach more people to have the options to have dairy-free products, because a lot of people are lactose tolerant, and naturally we are. A lot of people can't eat nuts and need nut-free products. So there are different things that people need that we can also provide, having a plant-based vegan option.
Fantastic. So when
Yeah.
okay, go ahead, Natasha.
Sorry. I'm just curious, how strict are you with vegans? Because they're like too strict vegans. They're kind of. So
Sure,
do you eat
sure.
honey? Do you eat honey?
Uh, no. So basically, for me, it really depends on where you decide to put your dollar. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So, for example, I won't be able, like, I can't control where the honey or how the honey or any of that story of how it's being procured and how it gets to me. The kind of honey that you see commercially are outrageous when you try to understand it, how much energy it takes for a bee to come up with a tablespoon of honey for you, you know, and you see people pouring it really and unconsciously consuming without noticing or being present about your impact. So really, because I cannot control that, I would not consume honey. But I
So
do
what about
believe in its
eggs?
beautiful like properties that it has. It's very healing. It really does help humans. It does. But
Okay.
not the way we're consuming it today. You know what I mean? Not how
If
it
you,
should be
what about
appreciated.
you know the source? What about if you know the source of the honey
Yeah,
and you know the
exactly.
farmer who's producing it and you know it's
Yeah.
100% natural? Do you still take it or you still refuse to take it?
I alhamdulillah, you know, my health is pretty amazing. It's great.
Mhm.
I don't need it, so I would not bother the honey
Okay.
and taking that from it, you know.
Yes.
And if people choose and decide to practice and harvest honey and you know, it's to each their own, you know, and what they decide they want to do. I don't ever want to get involved with that, you know. I
Mhm.
say that from the beginning. That is,
Yes.
you know, not what I'm here to do or meant to do. But
True.
for me right now, I don't need to bother a bee for that at all.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Natasha, you asked about eggs too.
Yeah. So, for example, we live in
Yeah.
the suburbs, right, and outside of DC, and we have a small backyard, and we decided that starting this winter in February, we're gonna order chicks from you order them in the mail, and then we're gonna build a chicken coop and in the backyard, and we're gonna get our own eggs. And the kids are excited, we're all excited, we love eggs. So now we know the source. We're the chicken are free range chicken. They're being treated
Yeah.
humanely. Are you still against eating if I offer you my the eggs of
Yeah,
my
no,
chicken?
and thank you
Would you
so
would
much,
you
you
still
know,
eat?
and I, you know, I know how much how Arab hospitality is, and you know, please excuse me when I say probably no, thank you, just because if you like, I love tofu scramble, and if you see the difference between the calories, the cholesterol, all of that
Mm.
compared to eggs, you will never eat eggs again. It's just so much, you know, tofu is a lot better for you when it comes to that, and you don't have to worry about cholesterol and fats and you know, salts and all of that. You'll realize why you should substitute. It's just naturally healthier for you.
What
Mhm.
about egg whites? Sometimes I substitute for egg whites. That's a good
No,
option.
no need at all. And you know, I love chicks. They're so cute. I would feel so bad if I had to break an egg and think that I lost a chick right there. Cause yeah, look those babies in
Okay.
the eyes and then decide if you want to kill them.
All right.
And
So I'm gonna
some
play.
people might, you know, it's to each their own how they want to raise their compassion level, and you know,
Mhm.
it's everybody should make their own decisions, but know that you know, the news is telling you the world is heading toward, it's already at the red zone, and we are
Mhm.
having a massive impact, and an individual, we have to realize as individuals, we all together, if we decide on something, can really move markets and shift markets. And you've seen that with the milk industry. So you know, and how much there's a rise of alternative milks and different nut milks and such, and now alternative meats. We really, as an individual, now it is time to take action and decide on the choices that you make, because it does have an impact on the companies and organizations that you spend your money on. Yeah.
Okay. So there
Well,
are.
I'm gonna play. Sorry, go ahead,
Go
Zia.
ahead. Go
Well,
ahead.
play devil's advocate. I know, because if you
Yeah,
have your
yeah.
own
I was
farm
gonna
and
say.
all of that,
I,
but
no, no.
still,
I'm gonna
you're
play the
buying it
devil's
from
advocate.
someone who might, who is harvest, who's having chickens to sell them. You know, every decision you make has a ripple effect.
Well, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate and I talk about the food chain. So we are humans. We are,
Yeah,
it's our birthright to be on top of the food chain. You know, we earn
exactly.
being on top of the food chain, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
even if you look at the way our jaw is formed, our
Hmm.
molars, our wisdom teeth, the reason we were made this way is to eat big chunks of meat. I mean, you know, sometimes people like maybe they have to take them up because they're not eating as big a chunk of meat as they used to, but that was the whole, you know, that's why we have those molars and wisdom teeth to consume those big chunk of meat. So
I
in
know,
order
but
for I'm just saying that
oh yeah,
we are
just to say
we
one
made
thing
it
about
on
that.
top of the food chain.
It is,
It's our birthright to eat
yeah.
other animals.
So
So how do you respond to people like, you know, me, like let's say
it's
skeptics,
fine.
or how
Af-
what would you tell them about our Joe, for example? The way, like
yeah.
if you wanna put a religious aspect to it, like this is the way God made us, is to,
Mhm.
especially in the Arab world, sometimes you can't argue when you bring a religious argument. Is like this is the way
That's
God
right.
made us, is to
Yeah.
consume meat. So how would you talk to people? I'm just, you
So
know, I'm playing
exactly.
a character
No,
here. I'm playing a
no,
character.
no
He's
problem.
playing the
No,
devil's advocate.
I'm playing
no
the devil's
problem.
advocate. Yeah.
So the yes, God and the source, and we are on top of the food chain, and with that um, prestige, with that level, with that awareness and that mindfulness, it is our right and our duty to protect everybody and every species lower and under us, because it is we have to even do that with ourselves, right? We have to protect the vulnerable, we have to protect the young and the weak and the children and the women, right? So with that, we also have to protect the species along with that. But the way we're practicing today, how we treat the species, is unacceptable. And this is why you turn away when someone puts a, oh, there's a documentary on, do you want to watch this? And you know, definitely people say, I, you know, this is, I can't face this right now. I can't face this reality that's about to come witness into my TV room, into my living room, into my space, because I'm happy to not see those eyes and deal with that horror when it comes packaged and easily in the supermarket that I walk,
Mhm.
you know, around the corner. Because at this point, you have to realize with evolution, we are now more sedated, like we are sitting down, we are on our computers, we are not as active as we used to be. We are have evolved, and we have evolved since that time when you think as primates, that we eat in this cavemen situation. It's not, we are not there. First of all, our teeth is quite flat. So if you try to eat a deer right now, your teeth will not be able to get through that meat. It's not that way. And even gorillas, they eat plant-based. So, and they're big and they get their protein and they're good, you know. So we're not designed for that at all. And we're even further away from being designed from that, because we don't hunt, you know. We go to our grocery stores, we shop from meat that's came from other side of the world. So it's just a different, we're different people and we've evolved, and we have to believe in this kind of evolution, and we have to believe that what's culturally we're holding on to, culture changes over time. What culturally before we used to think sacrificing, uh, you know, children was okay, that's not acceptable right now at all. So we change as humans, and we will continue to change. And this is part of this change, is incorporating plant-based into your life, compassion into your life, because there is too much pain right now in this world, and we have to try to make a change. And that's simply by the food that you eat.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, Layla, can uh, we, as a human being, and as Natasha said, we need sometimes certain enzymes, proteins, and vitamins that come from animals, and we have always, contradicting news and stories about
Mhm.
animals and eating animal-based food, plant-based food, and it's very confusing to me as an individual and to everyone else. So we don't know which path to take. In the most recent interview with a doctor that I saw on TV, he was saying that vitamin B12, for example, specifically comes from meat and
Meat.
meat alone. And if you
Hmm.
don't eat meat, you will be sacrificing B12, which is a very essential vitamin for your body. Now,
Right.
this is confusing. So, when I sit with vegans, I have many friends who are vegans and I love them to bits. The thing is, it's so confusing. Sometimes I can't believe what they say. And when I hear the other doctors, I can't believe them. So, I don't know where to go. I'm so confused. So,
So,
Mm.
so just know
enlighten
that
me.
no, no, no. So it's true with B12, and vegans should take supplements and we should take vitamins. I take extra collagen, and we do our girly bits as well. We get vitamin E that's really good for our nails and stuff grow. So I naturally just take extra vitamins and supplements, and B12 is one of them. It's not. It is already proven. So, fact one, it is already proven that we don't need meat to survive.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay,
proven fact. Meat and alternative meat products, so your dairy, cheeses, eggs, and all of that. We don't need those two to survive. We could definitely survive on plants. It's great to take alternative vitamins and supplements, as part of your diet. You do that right now. Being on a regular diet, you end up taking supplements and vitamins anyways.
of course.
Um, we will be okay. That's what's amazing. It's not something that we need to die hard, grab a hold to, oh my goodness, I won't survive without my meat kind of situation. It's
Mm,
not, we don't, it is not a need in our life. It is
mm,
a want. It is an luxury item, right? It is a luxury that the rich always had and provided to the poor as a so this is a luxury item that you're taking a life and consuming meat. It's not a need. And know that doctors don't get nutrition training in their medical school extensively. They get it about 20% of their education, and they could have changed this percentage could have changed, but it's not as much in their medical because they have so much to learn. You know what I mean? I mean, they have to learn the whole anatomy and everything else. Diet is such a small part of that. That's why there's actually dietitianists that do help. Yeah.
Natasha?
What about kids? I mean, I'm sure that's like the million-dollar
Yeah.
question. I know you mentioned you have a
So
daughter, and do you
yeah.
raise her to be vegan? And how do people around, do you get pressured like, no, you have to feed her meat, like from the mother-in-law or the mother or the sister, or like, especially in the Arab culture? I know this is, especially as when also it's a contentious topic among couples. I know some couples who, like, one is just vegetarian, the other one is not, and one partner tried to sneak some meat to the to the kid, and there's a whole
Oh,
uh kind of culture towards kids and vegan. And as I think mentioned to you while we were chatting earlier, is I attended a lecture by the author of the book How Not to Die Alone, and he promotes plant-based diet, but he said when it comes to kids, he still believes that kids need to have some sort of meat-based diet while they're growing up, and that everything is in moderation. Do you agree with this, or where do you stand?
yeah. I don't agree with that. I still don't think that a meat-based diet is a requirement. I think we actually need to switch our way of thinking and know that what we require is a plant-based diet. That is what we need to survive, and that is what we need to have in our life and able to reach ultimate health. So I start thinking about the way I raise my daughter or my 6-year-old in that aspect. How much plant-based diet does she have? And when it comes to family uh, interventions and different couples and spouses with different ideas, it, you stated your opinion, and you state as well that you hope others respect your opinion. If others choose not to respect and somehow sneak or share or do that, I think you just express to the person your feelings against it. I don't think you hold on to that or the anger or that your child has tried it, because in the end of the day, I raised my daughter enough to know that it's her decision what she decides to consume in her body. She's very aware of that. She knows how to read labels. She actually says whether this has, meat or sugar or whatever. She understands the ingredients that are coming into her food. And so she is very aware when somebody serves her something that she doesn't feel comfortable eating, and she will state that. So I also respect what she decides to put in her to her body, and when she was old enough, she'll state what she is or what she decides to be. Um, but uh, but that's how I am choosing to practice my version of this. Yeah.
So we have a comment here from Nihad Matalqa. I think this is Natasha's mom, and I would like to say
Yeah.
hello to her.
That's my
Hi.
mom, my number one fan.
She's saying, "Hi, I cannot live without meat and chicken. Those are my life. I like everything you said. So what I do?"
Well, yeah, I think she's saying what? Yeah.
Hi. Hi,
She
Mama
has, I
Nihad.
think she has summarized everything we're thinking about. Like, I love what you say. We love you. We love your ideas.
But we love meat more.
Too
But we love
hard.
meat more.
No, listen. I think enjoy your life. I can never say that you should take away something that you really want to have. All I'm saying is just have a thought about it, and maybe be more present and conscious when you are deciding to consume it. Because in the end of the day, if we're still choosing to live in a blindsided way and not be accountable of it, we continue to not create that level of empathy and care. And part of that you will see in the examples that we find here in the Middle East with the wars. And that's really what's impacted my decision to become vegan. It's because I really got tired of seeing all of this kind of, bomb and kids getting hurt. And one of the biggest famines that are happening right now, too, in two of the biggest places in Syria and Yemen. And just,
Mm.
it's just unacceptable. And
Mhm.
I think that we have to bring that compassion into our daily life. And it's not just seeing the news and saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, that seems bad," or donating money here and there. It's how you're donating, how you're using your money on a daily basis,
True.
and where is it going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natasha.
In the beginning of the interview, you mentioned shawarma, and I really now I'm craving shawarma like crazy. I think the last time I had shawarma was 2 years ago. I'm flying to Jordan next week, and probably one of the things that I'm gonna eat is all sorts of meat. I'm sorry,
No,
but
no.
uh, you mentioned you're doing it into like a vegan way. So how are you doing it? And I think one of the issues that I have when it comes to vegan food. Like you have vegan cheese, and you can, it's like you're imitating not you, but the vegan
Yeah,
culture
sure
is
thing.
like
Yes.
imitating life. It's like
Yeah.
like a vegan, like a vegan cheese.
Vegan
So just don't
burgers.
eat cheese. Why do
Yeah.
you have, yeah,
Vegan
or like
burgers,
just
vegan
if you
chicken
really,
nuggets, vegan cheese. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I
if you really, I think if you really don't want it, just don't eat it, but like pretend it is. So it becomes a more of a mental trick than anything
yeah,
else. Just
yeah.
just don't eat it. Don't call it vegan, and then just some ideas.
I think the reason why you're seeing all of these kind of alternative products that are very mimicking the meats of and the cheeses and all of that is to try to help society um, incorporate more alternative plant-based foods into their diet, because they're finding it hard to disattach themselves from the meat and the cheeses and all of that, because it is addictive. It is something that you've been raised, and it's part of your DNA and your culture and all of that. And so that is why you're seeing that, and that's who they're targeting, and that's is that market.
So how do you make a vegan shawarma?
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, I
we
was about to ask you
yeah.
that question.
So we
I'm
have this.
curious. I wanna try it. I wanna try it for
Oh,
sure.
if you come visit, I would love it. Or if I come visit, I'll definitely make it for you. So
Actually,
basically,
I'm stopping in Doha on the way to Jordan at the airport. If I
oh,
see any,
oh,
do you have
good.
anything at the airport? I'll grab it.
Definitely, that's great. So this is my daughter, Aya.
Hi, Aya.
Hi.
She got cute. Okay, so basically we use jackfruit, and I put it into the crock pot, and it gets with all the spices and everything, and it gets nice, and the texture of the jackfruit really looks like meat, so
Mm.
it's fun. You get to feel that into your into your mouth. And then the second one is basically you use your traditional shawarma wrap, and you put your salad and your tomato, your pickle, French fries, and then the tahini sauce that you can make it using
Mm.
plant-based products. Wrap it around and eat it, and you'll have the best shawarma ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, you got me
What's
when you said
jackfruit?
jackfruit.
What's
I love
I
jackfruit.
don't know what's jackfruit. What's
So
jackfruit? What
there's
is
two
it in?
options you can. Yeah, so jackfruit is a fruit that comes from you can find it from the Asian market. But you'll see in most of the grocery stores today, especially being in DC, you'll find it in the can as well, and it says jackfruit. Or if you're in the Asian section, usually see it kind of spiky on the outside and then
Mhm.
white on the inside. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
spiky from the outside and very tender inside.
Yeah.
It's like from inside, it
Ah,
looks
I
like
will
a honey
try it.
melon or something.
Sorry. Say that again.
Huh.
From inside, it looks the texture is like honeydew melon or something like that, right?
It has fibers on the inside,
Mm.
so I don't know what other fruit to describe it as. It's very interesting. You research it, Google it. You'll see it in the market.
Yeah.
Put it as part of. You could do different things. You could even do like tacos and use it for different recipes. Lots of different things.
Nice,
Mm.
good.
Yeah.
Natasha, any
Yummy.
other
I'm
questions?
gonna try it. Okay, so books, recipes and books. Okay, so you know, um I'm sort of like I have a couple of books, but I want to hear from you, like especially when it comes to Arabic cooking. Is there any cookbooks that
Mm.
promotes vegan diet based on Arabic foods, like
Yeah.
the shawarma that you mentioned and other stuff?
Yeah, that very good. I think you found a good gap in the market. I have seen different books and not books. I think different things on Amazon. It didn't spark me to buy it. I haven't bought anything yet. So far, everything that I've been trying is just what we've been testing, through various recipes. Uh, just it's been a hit or miss. But there's been a few different blogs online of different chefs cooks who are interested in trying variations. So I've come across those, but I haven't bought a book so far.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let me say
What
hello
about
to
you
our
creating?
friend.
But maybe sorry.
Sorry. Let me say hello to our friend Salmat Qasim Al-Ubaidi from Boston, the US. Hello, and thanks for joining the program. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Natasha. I just lost you for a little bit. Can you come back again, please? Can you hear me, Natasha?
I can. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, because I lost you for a little bit, and now I can hear you again. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just saying, so maybe that's your new business idea, Layla. By the
I
way, my
know.
daughter's name is Layla.
Oh,
I love the
okay.
name
Yeah.
Layla, but
Uh, you know that
she's
it's
still
funny.
asleep.
Yeah, I've been working on something. And yeah, so you might find something soon. It's
Or
funny.
maybe a YouTube channel, like a Instagram, like all of that. There's a
Yeah,
huge market, and especially now
there
the
is.
younger generation on
Yeah.
TikTok. On TikTok, oh my God, it's huge. All the I got so many recipes from TikTok and all of that. So we're here also to help you and promote you. Yes, we're skeptics, but we believe we believe in entrepreneurship, and we believe in eating healthy, and we believe in promoting
Oh,
good habits and being compassionate. So we'd love to support you in any way as
okay.
well if you start your business.
It was funny during the pandemic. I started a little TikTok, but I need to. My my issue now is just I've been a late adapter for social media. I think there's a lot of
Okay.
people who've been late adapters, but I'm definitely one of them. I'm close to 40, so I've been pushing that, growing up in the 80s and all of that. I've been pushing the idea of going on social media on and off. But yes, I will definitely love to collaborate with you guys and get a recipe out there and start promoting the Arab market and understanding veganism and getting Arabic recipes that are veganized.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
I
have
can't I
another.
can't believe you're 40. You look 20. It must be all that vegan food.
It's
Yeah.
it's all the plants that she's been eating.
I know. That's why I look 100, because of all the cholesterol I'm shoving inside my body.
Oh my gosh.
See, here is the
Uh,
proof. People, if you want to just.
We we are the living proof.
yeah, but I can't wait for my daughter to teach me a lot about social media. I'm just waiting for her to grow up a bit. Let's see. No. But I'll work on it a little bit more and get harder on it. It's
We have
different putting your life out there, for everybody to see and having your phone there. Even my husband is like, don't be on the phone all the time. So it'll be interesting if I start on that social media path, what that would look like in our relationship.
yes. That's
Yeah.
you mentioned the husband. It's funny you mentioned the husband, and Nuhad Matalqa also mentioned her husband in her comments. I will come back to Nuhad's comment. Let me ask you about your husband. Is he vegan too, or he's on the other side of the spectrum?
No, I'll call him flexitarian. So it's a new term that now people have come up with to say that you would choose plant-based,
Mhm.
but if you know, different occasions come up, you end up eating meat. It's your own prerogative,
I
basically.
like that.
So they call it flexitarian.
Flexitarian.
What's
Yeah,
the
I
word?
love it. I'm a flexitarian.
there you go.
Flexitarian.
You
I love
found
it.
it.
Flexitarian?
Like
Okay.
Yeah,
From flexible.
I just found
yeah, you're
myself.
flexible.
I just found I just found
You found
myself
your group.
during this
You just
show.
found your group of
I,
people.
I know.
Flexitarian.
I was lost.
Right.
I was lost, and
Now
now I'm
you're found.
found. I'm, I'm a
You found the
flexitarian.
community that we need to be in, that culture. Yeah.
Wow, I
But
love it.
no,
I'm a
they're called
flexitarian.
flexitarian, and so basically, I don't shop for meat. So if he's wondering if he's gonna get it in his groceries, he's not gonna get it. If he goes to buy it himself, that's one thing. But like, if I do the shopping, he's not getting it. If I'm doing the cooking, he's not getting it. If I'm preparing the meals for the family, he's not getting it. So he's been mostly plant-based for a very long time.
I'm a strictitarian.
Yeah.
If I
You're a
want to make a
carnivore.
new term.
Yeah, I
So
know.
Nohad is mentioning something about the husband. She's saying, "Hi, if I cook without meat and chicken, my husband will divorce me."
Yeah. I,
What do
I
you
would
think?
just say I would just say that's not part of the marriage contract for me to cook for you. I was just say you married me, and cooking was just a luxury. I'm cooking. I'm just changing my diet. So you're cooking what I would feed myself, which is important. And you know how healthy I am and how healthy I'm trying to be. So this is what we have.
Okay.
That would be my type of conversation I'd have with them. But everyone has their own conversations. I know marriage is very hard, and we can laugh and joke about that, and I know there could be a lot of consequences and problems when it comes to doing drastic changes. I think it's just important to have meaningful conversations and go back to the why, and then from there you can change and hopefully work with that person, that partner, about meeting halfway. If not, you just work on doing you the best way that you can, and allow that person to be who they are, and that's all you could do. You're not accountable for that person at all. All you could do, all the power you have is what you have within yourself.
Yes. I
Yeah.
want you to give me some information and maybe some education regarding having a vegan person over in your house. Like, this is my worst nightmare. Excuse me. This is my worst
مجدرة.
nightmare
Make
when I have
مجدرة.
people over, because I cook everything. I cook everything
Yeah.
at home from scratch,
Wow.
okay? And then, whenever I'm having people over, us, immediately we go to chicken, beef,
Of course.
all types of meats and all that fancy food that we make for our guests. And we like to be very hospitable and keep
Oh,
stuffing them until they leave the house. And then when it's become very daunting for me when I hear, well, have a vegan over to my place, because I don't really know what to feed them. I don't know what to offer them, and
yeah.
it becomes my worst nightmare. And I
Yeah.
love those people, and I want to be hospitable. I want to be
I know.
entertaining when they come over, but
So
still I feel my hands are tight. So can you
I
give me some tips, please?
Yeah, so basically one of the best things to do, if I ever come as a guest, I usually ask the host if there's anything that I can bring, and then I bring, my own food or my own snacks or whatever. And I also inform the host, so the host is prepared and ready. So when the host decides to host a vegan, sorry, 1 minute.
Mhm.
Hi. Oh, okay, I'll help you in 1 second, sweetie. So when I decide to host another vegan, basically I try to incorporate as much plant-based into the appetizers and the meals as possible. So what's amazing about Arabic food is that we have a lot of plant-based dishes. Different appetizers. You have a hummus, you know,
Baba
mutabal, different
ganoush.
things. Yeah. And then you can use plant-based yogurt, and use that alternative. So there's a lot of different things, and especially where you like, if you're in the U.S., so many different products available for you that you can incorporate. That's very meat-like, that you can put still in your traditional dishes. If you don't want to use the processed meats, there are different ways that you can incorporate, like for example, jackfruit and beans, mushrooms, definitely mushrooms that has different textures, and tofu into those recipes. And then for your desserts, oh my goodness, There are so many different vegan desserts that you can do, and they're delicious. And tons of recipes out there that you can try. And also, I have your vegan friend bring that dessert and let her share it or him share it with everybody. What I also do is, for example, I was going to host Thanksgiving, but I was sick this last week, and I asked my friends that it's going to be a thankful Thanksgiving, right? We want to be thankful for our health and thankful that we're all able to be together, and thankful that we want to have a cruelty-free dinner, basically, and have it be positive. More sustainable, better for the environment, better for you, and you save animals. And so they were like, "Oh, we've never cooked vegan. We don't know what to do." And I'm like, "Okay, here's the menu. Talk with me one. This is an opportunity that we could work on the recipe together. I'll share with you different links and how-to videos or whatever, and let you know where you can find these things in the grocery store when you go grocery shopping for your ingredients. And let's make it together. And then that way, by Thanksgiving, we would have prepared something amazing and that you could share with everybody else. Too bad we didn't have it this year, but last year we did a smaller version because of COVID and everything, and it was great. It was a vegan Thanksgiving, and then the year before that we did that. But this year we wanted it a little bit bigger with friends and family, but they were excited. I had a lot of everybody, already talking to me, asking for recipes and asking, this is our first time. So it was nice.
Very
Just
nice.
an idea of a concept that you could do in the future, because
Yeah.
you said you used to love to host
Sure.
dinner guests. So maybe you could do a potluck version.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sure. Sure. That's
Yeah.
a good tip. Natasha,
Yeah.
do you have any questions?
Yeah. So we're talking about, veganism is a healthy diet. I've heard from some people saying that not all vegans are healthy, and
Yeah.
some of them are like sustain their diet on beer and French fries.
Yeah.
That's kind of the joke that vegans just eat French fries and beer, which is not a healthy diet. So do you believe that you can be vegan and you still not eat a healthy diet?
I definitely. I still think that you can have basically, so plant based can come in two versions. You can have the whole foods plant based, which is the ultimate. You could say, on the top of the diet pyramid. That's like the best diet you can ever have. Whole foods plant based, and then you'll have unprocessed, like processed food, plant-based, which fries is processed food and among other things. And I think there could be a balance of both. So I'm the one who kind of indulges in that processed plant-based diet sometimes, and that's why I have like Nosh Cravings, which is the fast food restaurant. But I really solely believe, which is what I started with Raw, which is the plant-based factory, and I think it should be our basically a foundation for living, is a whole food plant-based diet.
Hmm.
So that's where I am. Yeah.
Good. Layla, the conversation is very, very interesting with you, and you are such an amicable person, and you're very easygoing. Like, you bared all our skepticism and our questions, which we really, really appreciate. Uh, and I wish you all the best, Layla.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
coming,
Thank,
and thank you for the time. I know it's not an easy job to be a vegan and a vegan entrepreneur, but especially in the Arab world. But you're getting there, which is fantastic, and I wish you all the luck,
thank
Natasha.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, are you still making steak for dinner, Ziad, or did you change your mind?
Yeah, I'm sorry. For me, it's gonna be a very, very difficult transition. I still love my steaks, but I believe in moderation. I'm in the middle of the spectrum. Okay, so I'm neither too carnivore or too vegan. I try to create this balance between plant-based food and meat. But hey ho,
Yeah.
I mean, I still love my steaks. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
found
Layla.
my people
No, I
after
was
this
just thinking,
podcast.
I
I'm
was
a
just thinking,
flexitarian.
yeah, no, I was just thinking the idea that really it's about, you know, it's part of changing habit and it's really incorporating and practicing, you know, how can I change things in my pantry, for example? Can I change my all my stock into vegetable stocks and then commit to that? Can I change my milk into plant-based milk?
Mhm.
Commit to that. You know, make
Mm.
small choices, small commitments, and the small choices that you do on a daily basis.
Yes,
Don't think about the overwhelming picture, because if you do, there's a lot to think about. I'm still on that journey. I'm not perfect. You know, I still have so much to learn. I'm not on that, you know, when you ask me what kind of vegan I am, I'm not on that radar of um, perfect vegan. I'm still learning, definitely, you know, and I'm still trying to incorporate that practice into my life, because veganism is a practice, you know,
yeah,
it's a
of
the
course.
choice that you decide to live in that lifestyle. So really, if you try to make small choices and make small decisions, you will see that impact happening, and then it will gradual get bigger. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
That's
you.
why there's like vegetarian, pescatarian,
Yeah,
flexitarian. Like, oh,
vegetarian. I'm a
right?
vegetarian.
Yeah.
And you're skeptitarian, I'm flexitarian.
Flexitarian.
I found my
Well,
people today.
I'm
I
I'm I'm
found my
also
people, yeah.
flexitarian. Like, you know, when I'm with
Google it.
vegan
You'll
people,
find that word. I promise.
Do
when I
you know
visit when
we
I
we
visit
we can end on a joke. There is a joke. This guy was on the airplane, and the air hostess asked him, "Are you vegetarian?" And the guy's like, "No, I'm not vegetarian. I'm Jordanian." Uh, so,
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Layla,
uh,
and thanks for our audience and participating. Thanks for the questions and the support. And all is left to us to say enjoy with the left of your weekend. And thank you very much for our guest. And see you next time. Goodbye.
All right. See you next time.
thank
Bye.
you
Bye.
so
See ya.
much.